Let's talk about communication with coaches. Okay, I went through many coaches, head coach for each sports, and assistant coaches. So back then, when I started working, there was no now the system called Rank One. This electronic software system. You can just upload all those kids' name, and then you just enter information. But back then was just paper, a piece of paper. I asked the kid, "Hey, coach, give me the name of the kids that are gonna play sports to get the list." And then we just go back and forth. This kid's turn the physical, yes, no, yes, no, no, why? Just go back and forth. There was no system. Well, that was a system, old way. And then head coach is the responsible one to make sure all those kids done all the paperwork, right? Physical, previous participation form. I mean, all the steroid, all the forms. If they're not done, they should not be playing sports. But many coaches, they don't listen, because the work situation I had, the last trainer really did not force that rule. So other coaches a lot of coaches they don't, it's like, it's like, and then turning the paperwork to me, it's like, oh, I did it for you. It's like, and then it's like, wait a minute, you didn't do this paperwork for me. This paperwork is for you, so you have kids to make the team, so they can play sports, and they can have a season, so you get paid as a coach. And I had to explain to the coaches many times, and some they get it, some they don't. Okay, so when I started working for Breckenridge High School 2000, I didn't know any coaches, so I had to start building relationship. And some head coach, they are good. If I mention about this the paperwork and so, well, last time they forced me, well, you need to get this thing done. If you're not, and then get hurt, then it was going to come back to you, not to me, to you. It's like, oh shoot, all right. So some they get it, okay, but you're gonna have somebody they never ever understand what you're trying to explain. It just they don't, So this is the way somehow I came up with. So three different kind of people. One, they know already, so you don't need to explain anything. The second one is they know maybe 80%, but 20% they don't know, but they're willing to learn. Third one is the one tapped out. It's just they don't have any more skill or ability or room to improve or put something new. And it's sad to judge people, but I had to. When you get to the situation, this is what I did. Okay, so you try first, verbal, go talk to them, and then maybe 2 times. They don't get it, send the email, personal, not CC principal or coordinator, just simple email, just from you. And then you do once, and they don't get it, and then do CC with head coach and then principal. And then, also I would go talk to the head coach, which he knows, and who they are, right? So then go to the principal, this is the issue I have, they don't get it, and if something happened, it will not come back to me, it will come back to you, eventually. So I was like, okay, and then she sent a personal, email to the head coach, and some still they don't get it. We get to the point, then I will, approach the assistant coaches and the ones who can be responsible, right? And usually you can find it, or maybe not, but I mean, you got to find somebody to get things done, because head coach doesn't need to do the paperwork to make sure, be honest. It can be assistant, somebody, because somebody needs to do it, and you got to find somebody. So that's something you have to do, just communication. Just don't There's something I learned. If you need to build up the relationship with the coaches, you know, some you can do it, some just they don't want to do it. That's fine, but you try first, and then uh, simple conversation. Don't start writing, email, CC principal. I mean, just don't do that. Just simple conversation first. Okay, maybe just that. Just they don't get it. So that might be the problem. I mean, that could be the solution to solve the problem. So just go talk to them, because now I see. I'm gonna point out the young ones, okay, but just CC everybody. I mean, just right away, okay. It just my opinion is simple conversation can be, the solution. Okay. Yes, I'm not saying that's the only solution, or might happen. It might get worse. Yes, but just don't write out people right away. Just don't do that. I just won't do it. I don't recommend. Okay. Uh, what else? Oh, and so for now at the Brackenridge, I just sit down right or during the football practice. If you have an ACL rehab, the kids come in, you do that, but you were not going to be in the training room into time. You sometimes, you once the rehab is done, you're done with paperwork, you know, and you go outside. I that's what I did. I go outside and stand right next to the coach for no reason, just for no reason. Just stand right next to coach. Hey coach, like, hey coach, what's up? It's like, hey, what's up, doggy? It's like, nothing, and then just start having a conversation. Just no, I mean, just maybe related to football or not related to football, nothing. Just start the conversation for no reason. Just do that. That will, start building the relationship. You're not gonna try. I mean, you want to be the best friend, buddies, great, but you don't need to. You don't want to. You can. I'm not saying you don't need to do that, but that's what I did. Standing right next to the coach, each coach, and then talk. Sometimes nothing, sometimes stupid thing, but just talk, you know, and just trying to get to know each other. It's gonna take time, but that's something you need to do. That's what I do. I don't see young ones doing that. So, especially in the high school setting, that's what I did, and that helps. So that's the thing, communication. So if you have any questions, comment, put it in, and then we talk. Thank you.